A very good afternoon. I, CMLE Day, on behalf of the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee ICI, welcome all the participants in today's webinar Next Gen Negotiation Sharpening Strategic, Analytical, and Influence Skills in a Digital World. I welcome to today's resource person CA Payal Jain and others present over here. Now, I would like to introduce our speaker for today. CA Payal Jain is a dynamic and accomplished professional who exemplifies the perfect blend of technical brilliance, leadership, and purpose driven practice. CA Payal Jain, a fellow chartered accountant with over 18 years of post qualification experience, she is the head partner at a leading CA firm in Bhilai and into the area of sustainability and BRSR reporting, GST advisory, and strategic audits across sectors. She is a personality coach for corporates. CA Payal Jain brings with her a unique dual perspective, having led both in corporate as senior manager, MIS at Idea Cellular, and in practice now, where she spearheads regulatory reporting and audit assignments for Maharatan PSUs, cooperative institutions, and private enterprises. She has earned numerous recognitions, including the prestigious India 5000 Women Achievers Award, and has been featured on the ICI Women Empowerment portal. Notably, she has been the first woman chairperson of the ICI Bhilai branch, a pride milestone in Chhattisgarh's professional history. CA Payaljan is also a certified peer reviewer, GST certificate holder, sustainability and BRSR certificate holder, and many more such post qualification courses by ICI, and a passionate mentor. Her role as moderator at the World Forum of Accountants 2025 and her contribution to ICI committees reflect her deep commitment to the profession and to empowering future leaders. Beyond the boardroom, she actively serves as Vice President of Helping Hands Club Chhattisgarh and is an enthusiastic advocate of women's leadership, student development, and community engagement. CA Payal Jain, a change maker, a mentor, and a future ready chartered accountant. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Millie, for your wonderful and kind words. I just hope I stand to all this, what you have spoken about me. A very good afternoon, everyone. The participants over here, it is really a pleasure to be here with all of you today. So, today's session, as rightly said by CA Millie, is titled Next Generation Negotiations. It is about how you sharpen your strategic. Just a moment. I'll share my PPT before that, before we start. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible now.
Okay. So, as I was saying, today's topic is not only, negotiation, but how we do it, how we sharpen our strategic, analytical, and influential skills in this digital world. So, over the next 2 hours, we'll explore how negotiation has evolved in the fast changing business environment and how we as professionals can use our strategic skills, the data that is available, the digital awareness to negotiate effectively. I'm sure by the end of this session, you all present here would understand how to plan your negotiations strategically, use analytical thinking to strengthen your position, influence ethically as well as confidently, and leverage digital tools that are responsible for negotiation and how responsible you are to use them. So let's begin by understanding how negotiation itself has evolved in the modern world. Before that, I would like to take you through the agenda of today's session. We'll start very simply about what is negotiation. I am sure many of us misconcept it to price bidding, but believe me, it is more than that. how the evolution of negotiation in this digital area, the strategic negotiation framework for we chartered accountants, analytical negotiation by using data insights, and then the influential skills which you should have in bold and italics, these words embedded in your mind. Then the AI, digital tools, and ethical boundaries. At the end of the session, you can shoot out on any and every question that you wish to know about. So let us begin. As chartered accountants, we often think of negotiation, as I was saying just previously, that negotiation for us is something that happens only in boardroom or sales meeting. But actually, in reality, negotiation is a part of our everyday professional life. Now, let me tell you how. We negotiate audit timelines with clients, fees with management, deliverables with teams, and sometimes even expectations with regulators. So, as I was saying, it is actually a part and parcel of each and every chartered accountant's life. Traditionally, negotiation was happening across the table, but now it's happening on Zoom, on WhatsApp, on emails. Digital and social platforms, online platforms have a great role to play between negotiations between the clients and us. So that means our approach has also to change drastically. We need sharper digital strategies and analytical tools. And this is what we are going to learn today. So, what is negotiation? Negotiation is not about confrontation or winning an argument. It is not at all to prove yourself right. Actually, it is about creating win-win outcomes. It is about collaboration and value creation. It's actually not about arguments, but about trust and value that you imbibe in your clients. It's the art of achieving the best possible outcome while maintaining long term relationships. So, for chartered accountants, this means negotiating fees, deadlines, long terms, or deliverables without arguing, but convincing the other party in a way that you get the point embedded in their mind and they surrender to your cost and your timelines or your deliverables or your fees. So, this is actually what negotiation is. Very simple, very layman language, I must say, that it is not a win-win situation, but it is a win-lose situation wherein, according to your flexibility, according to your analysis, you lose certain part, but yet you are on the winning position. So now there have been, misconceptions going on since ages that I would like to clear your minds with, wherein many think negotiation is about arm wrestling until the other side gives in. Just joking. But yes, it is not trying to, fight with each other. But it is not even arguments. It is, creating a situation in a way that both the parties feel satisfied and contented. So, yes, it is wrong that negotiation is an arm wrestling. It is fighting, it is arguing. It's not about fighting to win, but it is fighting in a polite way to convince your point. And believe me, it's not at all one time. It's an ongoing process and very much continuous. Every day with the same client you have to negotiate, sometimes for fees, sometimes for deadlines, sometimes for getting documents done, for creating reports, So it is a continuous process, not only for variety of clients, but for a single client as well. It's not only about price. Smart negotiations actually focuses on value that you are providing to your client and the relationships that you have with your client, with the other party. You provide such services and quality of work that when you put your points for negotiation, then the counterparty will never ever insist on denying the same. For example, there had been a deadline for tax audit, say, since the tax audit season has just gone, and you are fighting for getting documents from the person, and then you negotiate here that, sir, if these documents are not provided, say, since we had this 10th of November as the extended date, so sir, if you are not able to provide the documents by 5th of November, I am sorry, your tax audit report would not be able to be filed by the deadline given by the government. Yeah. So here you are negotiating, isn't it? You are negotiating that, sir, please provide me the documents, or else your work would be hampered, your quality would be hampered, and at the worst case, you won't be able to file the returns within time. Okay, so this is the way the negotiation goes, very politely, but yes, with a firm idea behind it. So again, clear your minds. Negotiation is not about arguments, it is not about fighting to win, but fighting to come on a consensus between both the parties. Okay. So now let's see how the negotiation has evolved during all these years, traditionally from boardrooms to the digital age, to the social platforms, to the online platforms, to how you do not now negotiate necessarily across the table, but through Zoom, maybe, or through emails, or through WhatsApp, or through any online platforms. How you do that? So traditionally, as I was saying, negotiation was considered as an art. It was something that was driven by intuition, the charisma, and personal persuasion. Because, the client were the knowns, they were from across your area only. You were actually knowing them. They were also knowing you since ages, since you started your practice, or since you are in that industry. And there had been a rapport created between both of you. And that is why, they knew, okay, this person, we know that he is a very good service provider. He provides document, he provides all the data in time. Every report writing that he does, the drafting is excellent. So he already knows about you. So if negotiate for certain things, say maybe for cost, or maybe for getting the documents properly in time, so they already know your services. So that is why whenever you say something, it already has created a weightage about your words. And that is why they would not deny for whatever you say. Probably like 90% they would not deny, because it is all, it is all the charisma that you have created, or the way you speak to them, or how you put up your things. They already know about your working style. Yeah, so this was the traditional way. Meetings were actually happening face to face. Information was also very limited, thanks to all these Google and Chat GPT and AI. That information was very limited. The non-technical people, like the non-chartered accountants, or the accounting profession people, they were not so much aware about the information. But now the information is on the tip of your fingers. You just you just question, and everything is there on your screen. So the information has become, global. The relationships also drove the outcomes, how you have the relationship with your clients in so many years. And that is why when you escalate something, you escalate your team or you escalate your fees. So the relationship is already strong, and it is built on a foundation, so there are very less chances of denying. But this was all a traditional way of negotiation. Today, however, we negotiate in a world that is digital, it is online, it is data rich, and it is hyper connected. It is connected throughout. Many of our negotiations actually now happen virtually, over emails, over video calls, or even through automated systems. So, artificial intelligence tools are also reshaping how the your other party prepare themselves for deals, the benchmark prices, and evaluate your value. So it is totally dependent on this data rich and hyper connected area. So, as professionals, we are operating in a world what I actually call as VUCA world. VUCA world, if you want to note down, VUCA stands for a world that is volatile, that is uncertain, that is complex, and it is highly ambiguous. This means we can no longer actually rely only on intuition. We must use strategies and information to make better than the best decisions. For example, imagine a client comes prepared with fee comparisons from a AI based platforms, right? Or online benchmarking tools. Like, people come here that right now for return filing, we have so many online platforms wherein the returns are getting filed in, say, 500 rupees or say 1000 rupees, very less amount. You just have to put in the information there, or you don't even have to put in the information. You just have to get them connected to your AIS and TIS, and it is done within click of your computer and within minutes as well. So why should I come to you? Uh, why should I come to you physically, or why should I connect to a chartered accountant here when these things can be done, at the comfort of my home, or at the comfort of my place, and at the comfort of such a low fees. Now, here you can no longer have a emotional discussion with the client. It has to be analytical, it has to be backed with proper data, and you must have a convincing and influential way of talking to the client. Now, here, how do you answer them? Do you answer this way? See, this is not the rate that I can work with, or this is not the way that I work. So if you feel that the fees is less there and you have a comfort there, why don't you go over there? This would do you think that this would be a correct answer to the question that the client has raised? Absolutely no. Now, here, what you have to tell them that, sir, I understand that you have a comfort of your home wherein you just share a bit of a data and your return is created and it is filed. But yes, I also provide the same. You can just mail me all the documents, and I would get you do need not even visit my place. You just have to mail me the documents. I'll prepare everything, and then I can, show you things. I will discuss things with you, which the online platform will not. this is the upper hand that I have. Then I would also make you aware with the repercussions that may happen for any data that is not proper or it is not complete. So you would also not, you would not be only filing the return right now, but you would also be prepared for any future problems that may be created because of the shortcomings. Again, this is the service that only I can provide as a chartered accountant who is not virtually present, but your virtual platforms would not be able to do this. Plus, again, I am seated in the same place, same city that you are in. So, anytime if you think that there has been any problem, or for you, for the matter, you think that you need certain backup documents for the return that you have filed, or you need to have a reply to any notices that may be arising, so we are in the same place and it would be very easy for you to connect with me. So that is why I suggest that my services would always be better for you, for your situation, not only for your present condition but also your future conditions. But again, if I am giving you assurance for your future problems that may be coming, so of course that would also have a higher cost, but I'm sure that this higher cost would not be difficult for you because it is saving you from any problems that may be arising. So when you know portray yourself as a beneficiary to the client, obviously they will not deny from giving you the fees that you are quoting for. So this is the way you analyze things and you strategically put up your point of view in front of them. So that is why I am saying that we must be equally data driven and also strategically prepared for any question that the client may have, because of the digital backup that he is also having in his comfort area, on the click of his fingers, on the click of his computer, right? So that is why you have to be backed up with all the data that is present on the online portals, you trends that you have and the weaknesses that the online portals have. So this should be happening. Another change that is there is the rise of digital empathy, building trust and understanding even when we are not sitting across the table. This is now becoming very, very, very important. The ability to connect virtually, to read the tone and intent over video or email is also now a very critical negotiation skill that each and everyone must of us must necessarily possess. So the essence of next generation negotiation lies in blending human intelligence with digital agility. It's about combining our chartered accountants analytical mind with our emotional intelligence to achieve a balanced outcome. So for example, a client says, uh, let us take a short and a very sweet case example, a very common one. A client says that please cut your fees. He is a client, who has been working with you, who you are working for since maybe 5 to 10 years, and now when you have there had been certain scenario and he says that you please cut your fees by 20%. Now if you say no, it would be, if you say a straight no, it would be a high risk of losing that client. And another dilemma would be that if you say yes, it would reduce your value, your monetary your monetary revenue, your value, your service, your expenses, it would reduce that. But now, instead of saying a straight yes or a straight no, what you do is you offer and make them understand the added value that you are providing for the growth and development of their business. And you are not doing it only today, but you have been doing it since so many years, and you would continue to do that. So instead, when you put that the services, the added value that you have been creating so many years on the platter, definitely your client's focus shifts from cost to the benefit that he's deriving from you. The cost, and then he realizes that the cost is not the only element that he is paying. He is, getting so many of benefits, so much of ease of working, so much of focus he can do on his business, because you this is the way, and then when you make them realize that this cut of 20% would be very high, and it would be, hampering the quality that you are providing, or maybe, it would hamper the confidence right now he's having in doing his business because you are standing behind them. And then he also thinks about it, and he feels that yes, it is not the only cost that I am paying, but it is also the confidence that I am having, and the ease I am having in my business, and I am having so much of focus, and I can import. I don't have to, worry about these tribal issues, because a chartered accountant, a very nice chartered accountant, is behind him, and this is where he rethinks about his the cutting of fees, and then he comes to a position that okay, do not cut to 20% but cut to 5% maybe. Or he maybe also realizes and he says, okay, that was a mistake that I had asked for, but yes, we can continue with the same fees that we are giving you around say last 2 3 years. And this is actually called a smarter negotiation. Yeah. So then, we have this, evolution. Now we are negotiating with tech savvy clients. We are also we have to handle AI based pricing, the digital contracts. We have to deal with remote audits and cross border collaborations. And this is the transformation that has come in the chartered accountant's life, and this is also impacting us. So again, I would say that we are negotiating in a VUCA world. It is a volatile, uncertain, and complex and ambiguous world. But now we are also knowing how smartfully we have to handle all these things. Going ahead, uh, let us see the strategic framework for negotiation. Here, I would like to, tell you that negotiation success starts much, much before the discussion that is going to happen. Even the discussion, even the mm, cross table meeting, this negotiation, if you want to succeed, you have to be prepared. Yeah. So, why I am saying this, that if you want to succeed in the negotiation that is going to happen in future, maybe tomorrow, you have to be prepared today itself. It begins with preparation. And in fact, I always say that negotiation is won before even before it begins. How? Because you are already prepared. You are prepared with the deal that is going to come. You are prepared with the questions that your client is going to put up. You are prepared with, you know uh, since you are prepared with the questions, you are already prepared with the answers, and you already know that what strengths you have to make them realize, what strengths that you have to make them realize. So even before the negotiation begins, you are already prepared, and you have already won the same in your minds. What you have to do is only you have to put that in front of them. So let me introduce to you all. Just a moment, let me take a break and have water. Sorry for the inconvenience. So let me introduce you all to a very practical framework for approaching negotiations strategically. I call it the strategic, not the strategic, but the strategic. STRATEGIC framework. Let us, check what does it stands for. If you want, you can take a screenshot of this mm, slide. And in fact, I would say that take a printout of this slide and keep it just in front of you in your cabin. Get it pasted somewhere so that it is there in your minds always when you talk to your client. And in fact, it is also clear to your client that you follow all these things. Yeah. So let us see one by one what all these alphabets stands for. S stands for set clear objectives. Set very, very clear objectives. You should exactly know what you want and what the client wants. What are his expectations from you, and what are you expecting from them? In fact, you should also analyze that where you can be flexible. Going ahead, we would see that you keep an analysis done where you can negotiate okay baba, if he say if your client comes for a 10% cut of fees, what you say is, okay, you have already analyzed with all your expenditure and your teamwork and everything, and you already know, though, okay, I cannot offer 10% cut, but yes, I can offer 2% cut. So you know that you are flexible to 2%, right? Like, again, as I was saying, that negotiation is not only about price but also about deadline. So you know that your deadline to submit a certain maybe internal audit report is the first quarter, the end of the first quarter of the financial, after the financial year closes. And then you know that, yes, here there have been some unexpected holidays, or maybe there have been some lack of data pool, and there have been some team crunches, or maybe there had been some documents that were not available for verification and you had to rework. So you have come to all these constraints, and that is why, if you feel that, okay, because of all these constraints, I'm not able to submit my report by the end of the quarter. So then you talk to your client and you tell them, you make them aware about all these things, and you ask for an extension to the deadline. This way, it may, you negotiate this way. So this is possible only when you know what exactly you want and where you can be flexible, right? You must know that if I am asking for an extension, you must be aware about this, that I need so much of extension. Maybe I need a 10 days extension, or maybe I need a 15 days extension. And mind here that whatever you ask for, stick to that. Then whatever happens, by hook or by crook, you stick to your extensions. Only then you create a value in your client's mind. He understands that, yes, if this extension was asked, it was a genuine extension, and you are standing for it, and you are providing that report within that time. So it is very important that you stick to the timeline that you had negotiated for. Yeah. So this S stands for set clear objectives. Be clear about what you want, your client wants, and be also very clear about where you can be flexible. Then let us come to T. T stands for think from the other side also. This empathy is very, very essential and very, very important. It is really very important that you understand the motive of the other counterparty also. You also understand that you empathize with them. You do not sympathy, but empathize with them, so that you also keep, they always say na, that you will understand the person only when you keep yourself in their shoes. Maybe there was a genuine, as I said, there had been a genuine problem at your side. There can be a genuine problem at the other side as well. That means, when I say that thing from the other side, I mean to say over here that you should not be rigid. You should also understand the other party's motivations, their limitations, and their priorities also. Say, like if certain client, is not providing the documents within time, you have to understand why he is not doing it. There may be certain reasons. Maybe there has been an survey at his place that has happened unexpectedly, and therefore maybe you are not aware about it, or maybe there had been a family emergency, so he had to prioritize these things. He had to prioritize the survey documents more than the documents that he has to provide you for an internal audit. So that is why you have to understand all these, and this is possible only with communication. You have to have a proper communication with your client. You have to have understand why he is doing it, and you have to ask him the reason of his delays, and then only you can come to a conclusion. So then again, I say T stands for think from the other side as well. Next comes R. R is research and research the context. It is very, very, very important. Uh, Are, I must say, in this, especially in this digital era, you have to be very prepared with all the researches, gather all the data, the background, the trends that are happening right now in the industry, right now in the work. In fact, I suggest over here, I recommend that use all the data and information that is available on the online platforms as well, because this is where your client is coming prepared from. So you must already know what is going on in his mind, what is he going to speak in front of you, and you should be prepared about that. So you already know what the client has on his platter, and the steak that you have to pick from that platter. You must know that you have to pick up the paneer from the paneer tikka platter, and not those the masalas. Yeah. So, and this is possible only when you are have already done all the research. You already know what is going on in the mind of your client or the other party, and what they are going to put up in front of you, so that the deal cracks may be in their favor. And again, here I would say that you don't have to again fight over here to win, to have a winning situation for you, but you have to fight over here to create a balance between both the favors that the favor that you want, the favor that your client wants. So this, you have to create a balance here. Yeah. So now going to the next alphabet, A means the assess. You have to assess the power dynamics. You should know who has the leverage and how you have to balance it. Who is having between two parties who is on the upper hand, and then you also have to tilt that thing in your favor, as well as you have to balance it in a way that your the other party also does not feel that they have been they have got some disadvantage. Yeah, then going to the next alphabet, T again. T again here implies trade-offs and alternatives. Here again, I use lots of short forms and long forms. So here again, you have to define your BATNA. BATNA is BATNA, the best alternative to a negotiated agreement. I always in my office, in my workplace, in wherever seminars I go, that you know, don't come to me with a problem. You come to me with with three solutions, and then I would provide you the best solution that would prevail in the problem or the situation that you have come with. So this is what I also practice with my clients, with the other parties, where I'm when I'm going for negotiations. The best alternative, like if I say that okay, the client is asking for a 20% cut, and I am saying ki, no, it is not possible that I can give you a 20% cut, but yes, what I can do is I can enhance the scope. In fact, if I am doing a tax related, direct tax related work for you, I can also create a SOP for your, you know, uh, getting your indirect taxes done within timelines. Or maybe I can create a SOP for your accounting, or maybe I can create a SOP for your purchase department. So this is the best alternative that I can give to the negotiating agreement. Please do not cut to my cost, but yes, I can provide you this one additional service. So this is my BATNA. It is BATNA, the best alternative that I can provide to the negotiated agreement. So this is T, that stands for trade-offs and alternatives. Now going to next, E means engage emotionally. Now here again, as I said, this is what we have. We people who are not, maybe many of us would be present on the online platforms as well, but this is where we have an upper hand than the online platforms, that you can engage emotionally with your clients, with the counterparty that is there in front of you, because you have already created a rapport during so many years. You have already connected to them beyond numbers. So that is why you can engage emotionally with them, and obviously they are also emotionally attached to you, and that is why you have an upper hand. Coming to next alphabet, G. G is generate creative options. As I already said, that have your BATNA prepared, have your best alternative prepared. So create such options, which is a win-win solution for both the counterparties. It is a win for you as well as the other party. Both of them feel that both are favored, both are at an advantageous thing, both are having a beneficial situation, and that is why both are having a win-win solution, and you have to create such an option for them that there is a win-win for both the parties. Coming to next, I stands for integrate digital tools. In this era, you cannot rely on paper and pen. You have to have that tab which listens to you and writes a note. So same is the way when you go for negotiation. You have to have digital tools in your hands. There are so many tools that are available, which helps you to analyze your negotiation, or to create nice dashboards, or to have backup to the points that you are negotiating on. Like when I said that you say that you can create an SOP for a purchase department wherein you are negotiating for fees. So you can have that dashboard ready with you, and you can just show them an example. See, this is the kind of SOP that I would create for your purchase department, and this would help to enhance your purchases properly. It would also maybe connect your stock department and purchase department, and this way you can have benefit over other departments, and you can have a proper analysis done whenever you are having a purchase. And in fact, it would also create to your vendors and the payments and the statutory liabilities that you have to have. So all these things would be connected to each other through one single SOP that I would create for your purchase department. And since you already have that example ready, the dashboard ready with you, it is it would have a good, nice uh, upper thing that you would have to convince the person ahead in front of you. So use analytical and digital tools that would help you. Don't depend on them, but yes, you can use them for your benefit. And finally, C stands for a very important thing that must always be done. Conclude with clarity. Here, I mean to say that summarize your agreement in writing and ensure mutual understanding. In fact, I always suggest that you can create a memorandum of understanding of the meeting that has, so that both the parties are on the same page, that whatever you have been negotiated are there on pen and paper. It is there in black and white, and you can refer to them in future as well. So it is very important that you conclude, and you conclude with clarity on both the sides. Yeah. So now let's take a simple example. Suppose a client asks, again, let us, come to that. A client asks for a 20% reduction in audit fees. Instead of, reacting emotionally, step back. You just step back and evaluate your BATNA, the best possible alternative to negotiate. So just think about it. What's the minimum rate you can accept without compromising on the quality? Then again, assess on the ZOPA. ZOPA is ZOPA, Zone of Possible Agreement, where both the parties, expectations overlap. So you assess this ZOPA as well, and then combine this BATNA and ZOPA, and then come to a conclusion, or maybe a decision, a good decision that is, favorable for both the parties. Think about the possible agreement that can happen, and convince your other party for that, or get convinced with his possible agreement, and come to a possible decision. So when you negotiate from a strategic position, your shift you actually shift from defending your price to communicating your value. What I mean to say from here you do not defend that your price is correct, your fees is correct, and you cannot go beyond this, you cannot cut it down. But instead, what you do is you communicate your value. And when you communicate your value, your client understands that without you, he is not going to survive long in his business. He understands that how important you are for them. And when this happens, your value is created in the minds of the client. Definitely, he is going to be there for long last with you, is going to he's not going to leave you ever. In fact, he would also, refer so many people to you. So instead of saying this is my rate, what you can say is this rate reflects the increasing compliance requirements of your business, your growing business complexity, etc., etc. And this is where I would be providing services to you in a way that it would be beneficial for your, not only for you, for the growth and development of your business. So, preparation, clarity, and empathy. These are actually, again, I would repeat, preparation, clarity, and empathy. These are the building blocks of strategic negotiations. Very, very important. And unless you get convinced for these three building blocks, you will not be able to convince your clients. So be prepared, be clear of what you want to have, and empathize the other party also. Understand why they are behaving this way, what are their priorities. Put yourself in their shoes, and then come to a situation, come to a decision which is balanced, which is favorable for both of us. Only then your relationship would survive. Not only survive, but it would, survive the storm and reach the destination. In fact, it would reach long, long, long way ahead. Let us, think of three scenarios. You have scenario A, B, and C. Scenario A says high fee but strict, very strict terms. Yeah. Then B scenario is where you get medium kind of fees, but you are flexible to your work. And the C scenario is where the fees is very low, but the closure of the work is very fast. So now it is up to you what you would like to choose. Again, choosing these three scenarios are always present for you. They are always there in your everyday working. They are always there for you, for your every client as well. So it is up to you what you want to choose. What do you want to, and it would differ from situation to situation. Maybe sometimes it so happens that you have to, you have to have what you have to agree on lower fees as well, because the work is going to close fast, or maybe because you value the relationship with the client. So that is why, you have to agree to the lower fees as well. You know that even if you take a lower fees today, but this is a client who has been always, paying us for so many years, and maybe in future also, or this is the client who brings so much of referrals to us, so that is why you agree to lower fees. Similarly, when you know that your work is flexible, your timing is flexible, so what you can, also work some other assignments as well. And that is why there, even if the fees is, mediocre, but you agree to that. Similarly, when you know that the terms are very strict, the risk is very high, there may be risk of laws also, there may be some things or some situations that are happening, or maybe there is I had a client who was it was a mining industry, and I knew that working in a mining industry, going into the mines for so many months together, or maybe in the submarines for months together, it is very risky for my uh, team that is going there. It is very risky, as well as, it is having long lasting health effects as well. So that is why when there is such a situation. I had quote a very high price, and I had made that client aware about these. That, see, Baba, my team that is coming there, they have to live there for months together. They have to live away from their family. They have to live in such a condition which is not conducive. Maybe that is why. So that is why this is the fees that I would like to quote, because I have to compensate my team for that. So this is the kind of expenditure, extra expenditure, that I have to cater to. And when we made them realize about these things, believe me, they not only agreed to our fees, but in fact, they also had a raise to their employees, because they understood that if my team, which is going, just for a month, in a in like 6 months, my team is visiting that client for a month, but their employees have been there for years together. So of course they also need a raise, because they must be facing the same situation. So that was such a nice gesture on the part of the client. They had understood our part. So these things also happen, and that is why I say that you have to choose between A, B, and C scenarios, and that way you have to analyze the situation. You have to check the various pros and cons, and that is the way you choose the scenario that is perfectly apt for your current situation. Then going ahead is analytical negotiations by using data, insights, and logics. Now, here I would like to say negotiation today is not just about communication. In fact, it is about computation. Yes, you have to communicate with your client, but with the backup of the computations. You have to be clear in your minds. In fact, you should have all the back documents, backup resources with you to prove your point, to prove your communication. That is why I say that negotiation today is not only about communication, but it is also about computations. So here, as chartered accountants, we are actually naturally analytical thinkers. We already have that in our genes, you can say. We have been conditioned, our brains have been conditioned that way. We have been trained in our profession that way, right from you step into your foundation exams, or you step into your first level of chartered accountancy. You work with your principals, and you work during your articleship period. So right from that day itself, you have been trained to have analytical thinking, logical thinking. Your brains have been conditioned in a way that for every minute points also, you have that analysis in your mind. You have that logical and reasonable thinking for that point. Yeah. So we have been trained for that. We actually deal with numbers, we deal with patterns, we deal with probabilities every day. Every day in our life, we know about, we work with numbers, we work with up and down patterns, we work with probabilities, maybe yes, maybe no, or maybe a yes, no. So we just looking at something, we know that what may be the outcome. Yeah. So this is how we have been trained, we have been thinking all these years. So with the same mindset can make us actually the excellent negotiators. You already have that mindset. What you have to do is you just have to, create a proper way of communicating the same. And you have to use the data very intelligently and very strategically, analyze the same, and then put up that across the table, put that on the platter of negotiation. Yeah. So before we walk into any negotiation, just just wait there. Wait for a day, think about it, and think analytically. Think about the facts, think about the pros and cons, think about every situation that may come in future, or maybe during cracking the deal. Think about all these, prospects. Think about the possibilities. Think about the flexibility, and then walk into the negotiation. As I had, previously already said, that be prepared with what negotiation you would like to do. Be prepared of various situations that your client may come up with. So you be prepared with that, that if he talks about say cost cutting, I would tell him about the benefits that he's going to get. If he talk about the deadlines, or if he talks about the timelines, I would tell him about my terms about getting the documents proper, or getting the availability of the resources properly, or getting about the his employees on time. So again, if we talk about regulators, if you're talking to a regulator, what would be the situation? What would be the answers that you would be giving? So if you want to negotiate about various aspects, you should also be prepared about the various situations that may come up. Yeah, and you have to be prepared with that. Only then you can negotiate. Otherwise, what would be your answer at any unexpected thing that your client puts up in front of you and you are not prepared? What would you do? You would tell them, okay, sir, this seems to be a good idea, but let us give a thought to it. Let us think about it for a day or two, maybe, and then we can come up again on for a discussion. But believe me, your client would definitely give you a time for this thinking. But instead, if you are already prepared for all these things and you give an answer on a click, his confidence on you would definitely increase, and your value, your relationship would definitely have an impact when you give an instant answer which is backed up with a preparation, not an instant answer for just for giving a lame answer. Don't do that. But when you are already prepared, you are backed up with a resource, you are backed up with the situation, you are backed up with the data and information, and you give an instant answer, definitely the confidence the client has in you would increase. So be prepared. So, and for being prepared, you have to analyze the scenario beforehand. Look at the cost benefit analysis also. Look at the benchmark pricing as well, that is already available in the market, that your other colleagues are providing or the other online platforms are providing. So have that benchmark pricing also in hand, and also have those weaknesses and strengths that you have over them. So, you are already backed up with it. Also, have an analysis on the past trends that are going. If you already know that this client never comes within timeline, and that is why you have to suffer for, you have to, what you have to, uh, your work life balance is hampered because he always approaches you on the last few days of filing of returns, or he is never his employees are never available in the time that you had given. Like I had one assignment, I wherein the along with the various other works like internal audit and SOP creations. I had all to also do the physical verification of their godowns, which were, situated at various places in various cities, various different cities. So I knew that with, analyzing the past trends, I knew that this go down keeper is never available on time. He never has that system data. It is never updated to the date. It is always updated, 1 month prior. So then, when next time in the next quarter or maybe in the next year, when I went for this physical verification, I had already, made the management aware about this. I had already told them that, see, my physical verification report does not come on time because of these problems that have been happening at this unit of yours, or at this particular go down of yours, because of his unavailability of the go down keeper, or because of the unavailability of the data to the date. I am not able to, give my report in time. So this time when I go, please make your go down keeper aware about this, that he has to be available on the date and time that I have provided. Plus, he has to be up to date. He has to keep all the records up to date. He has to keep all the systems up to date. And in fact, going ahead, one step ahead, he must keep all the printouts also ready. So this was possible only with the past, analyzing the past trends. This was only possible because of that. Yeah. So this way the management also came to know that okay, this was the lacuna that was happening, and that is why this was having an impact on the report submissions. So it is very important to have a past trend analysis, as well as communicating it to the right person and the right time. Then you should also analyze the client's potential. Build a strong numerical justification for your position. As I told you that I could, communicate my position of not submitting the report within time with this strong numerical justification, that I did not have, all these data in hands, and that is why I couldn't do the verification in time, and that is why I couldn't, it was a chain series and a chain of various events that were happening, which had an impact on my delayed submission of report. So you have to have a strong backup also. You have to have created all those documentation properly, that yes, I all the timelines properly, that yes, these were the things, these were the events I had mailed on this date to your godown keeper, that I need all these documents, and he provided this me 2 days ahead, and this, impacted my schedule of work, and that is why it also impacted my report submission. So you have to have a strong backup with you. For instance, if you are negotiating again with a, see, why I'm giving you these examples again and again about professional fees, because we people understand this language better. So it's not like I am, focusing on the professional fees or the cost that is there. There are other things also where you have to negotiate, but this is the way we understand better. So if you are negotiating on a professional fees, what you have to do is you have to analyze the client's turnover, the compliance volume, the audit risk, and the staff time, and then only you can, negotiate on the fees, or you can offer a better way. Like the if it is, a company, a private limited company or a public limited company, obviously the compliance part is more, the volume of compliance is more compared to an individual or a partnership firm. Yeah. So that is why you know that you have to work more in a company scenario than an individual scenario. So obviously when your work is more, though you would be, quoting a higher price for a company than a individual. And of course here you have to make the client aware that, see, since you are a company, these are the compliances that I have to do extra as compared to an individual client, and that is why I am quoting this of fees. So again, communication between the client and you is very important. You have to make them understand this, that your work is more in this situation, and that is why you are quoting a better higher fees. Again, then when you present a data that is supported by reasoning, as I said, that you present that since you are a company, these are the extra compliances like MCA working or ROC work filing is an extra work that you have to do as compared to an individual client, and that is why this is the logic and the reason behind quoting a higher fees. Obviously when you have this data that is supporting your reasoning and logic, it adds credibility and uh, makes your proposal, harder to dispute. Obviously you make your client understand, and there leaves no room for the dispute, and he agrees to your higher fees. Analytical negotiation also means identifying scenarios, as we had already discussed. You must, identify the best case, the worst case, and the realistic outcomes also. So you have to understand what would be the, the negative part if I do not agree, if I do not agree to this terms, or if the client do not agree to these certain terms, what would be the worst that may happen. Similarly, if both of you agree to certain thing, what would be the best part that would happen, and then come to a realistic outcome. In fact, you can also prepare a simple sensitivity analysis to know how much flexibility you have and how much you can, give flexibility to your client as well. So, with all these AI driven tools, you can create a simple sensitive analysis and just go through it before the negotiation terms happen, and talk about it, communicate this all these things with your client during that negotiating meeting. In a digital world, in fact, you can also use simple, very, very simple tools like Excel models or pricing analytics or even some AI dashboard to visualize the impact that may happen for the various scenarios, as talked about the best case and the worst case. You can use all these simple tools and create a very nice dashboard and present it in front of the client, and definitely it would create a better impact on your clients. And here again, remember, numbers tell a story. Instead of, quoting a flat figure of price, frame it as a value statement. Frame it this way, that this proposal reflects not just the hours, but the assurance and insight we bring to your financial processes. As I told you in my example about those return filing, wherein, versus me versus the virtual virtual taxpayer, virtual tax consultants what is the difference between them. So this is the way, you create an assurance in your client's mind, the insight in your client's mind, that your financial that we not only bring, the hours of work, but we also bring the financial processes. So when, to conclude about these analytical thing, when your data drives your narrative, that means when you are communicating, when you have a backup data to it, you move actually from defending your position to leading the discussion logically and confidently. So, in the strategic skills, what we had talked about, that if you have your communication, your narratives backed with data, backed with resources, you do not defend your price, but in fact, you create a value. Similarly, in these analytical skills for negotiation, I am summarizing you. I am saying here, when you have an analytical skill backed with for your narratives, for your communication, for your deals, what you do is you do not defend your position. In fact, you lead the discussion logically and confidently, and you make this you make your client understand this, that every point that you have put up has a logical reasoning behind it, and this creates a confidence in them. Yeah. So we have learned two skills by now: strategic skills for negotiation and analytical skills for negotiation. These both skills are very, very important. To summarize, here again, you have to identify the interest and the positions. You have to read the digital signals. That means you have to understand the tones and all those things, even while you are communicating virtually. You can also use different tools such as Excel, Power BI for creating dashboards, for creating data analysis, and you can use them for creating different scenarios also, like best way of getting into an agreement, worst way of getting into an agreement, or the realistic outcomes. So for all these scenarios, you can use different AI based tools as well. Then going to next skill, which again is very, very, very highly essential skill. That is why I always say that people do not buy your price, but they buy your confidence. How, how confident you are into your work, how confident you are into convincing them. Because unless you yourself are confident, how are you going to convince the other party? अभी आप ही अगर ऐसे, you are like blabbering, or you are like thinking in between of the conversation, you just stop and you start thinking कि okay, or maybe you start doubting yourself कि अच्छा मैंने जो बोला वो सही बोला या गलत बोला, अरे कुछ there had been some can there be some different, so you self doubt about your reasonings or your data. So obviously, if you are not confident, how can you expect your client to have confidence in you? So that is why your influencing skills is very, very important. Yeah. And of course, in the next 10 to 15 minutes, we would learn how to be a very good influencer. In fact, Abhi, in this era, you have so many influencers around you on YouTube and on Google and on LinkedIn, that you can learn from them also. But definitely I have an upper hand. I am going to, tell you better skills, better ways, and better reasons to get this influential skills for negotiating in a way that is a win-win and a balance way for both the parties. So now let's move from logic to influence. The softer, but in fact, keep these words in bolds and italic. A very soft way, but very, very, very equally powerful side of negotiation. Influence is about trust, it is about credibility, and it is about communication. In every negotiation, the other person must necessarily feel heard. They must feel that, yes, you are respecting them, you are respecting their views, you are understanding their motives, you are understanding their problems. And unless, they feel this, they are not going to come to a common, you won't be able to come to a common agreeable negotiation. Because otherwise what will happen, if the other person feels that they are not even heard, their point of view does not matter, so what they will try to do is they will try to prove themselves correct. Yeah, this is a human tendency. Obviously they will try to win the situation in their favor only. But when they feel that, yes, you are also understanding their problems, you are also, understanding the situation they are going through, and you are also respecting their point of view, then obviously they will also, come to the terms that you want to speak. And then, as I always say this, that listen to the other person's point of view, put up your point of view also, and then come up with a better solution. In fact, that combining those two different point of views, you may come to a better creative option that may be the best in the current scenario. This happens, but unless you listen to each other. Yeah, so that is why always in when you are having a negotiation, have let the other person feel that he is heard, he is respected, and he is understood. Your goal here is not to overpower, but actually to guide the discussion towards mutual benefit. Here I remember Dr. Robert Cialdini in his book Influence, he describes six principles that work powerfully in professional settings. I have again summarized them for you in this slide. You can take a screenshot of this slide and, keep on repeating these things in your minds until it becomes a part and parcel of your behavior. And this is the way, you can be the best influencer. And when you can influence in a way that you want, obviously your negotiation would reach to the success within minutes. And in fact, you know uh, you can use these influential skills anywhere and everywhere. And you can be a good influencer. You can use them for the benefit of for your benefit. Not that I'm saying that don't think about the benefits that the client can have, but obviously if you have these six principles in your habit, believe me, 90% of negotiations would be in your favor only. So let us talk about all these six principles one by one. So the first one is reciprocity. Reciprocity, by reciprocity, I want to imply over here is Before you ask for something, give. Like, just recently, I got a new client. He had come to me after, getting services from some other person since maybe years. And then he came to me and he was like, yeah, I'm facing all these problems and I want to have better advisor in my place. Not that the other person was not good. He was very good, but maybe he was not having expertise in the area where this client was working into. It was a industry that was, a telecom industry, not every person have that expertise in that telecom industry, and that is why he just shifted to me with all assent from the previous person. And then he was we discussed about the various scope that was there, and the working, what are his expectations and what I would be needing, and the way we would go ahead, what would be the timelines, what are the things that he was thinking कि जो उसको पुराने अपने कंसल्टेंट के पास नहीं मिल रहा था, एंड दैट इज व्हाई ही शिफ्टेड टू मी. सो आई ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट आल्सो. एंड देन after all these discussions, at the end he told me that, okay, what would be the fees that you would be charging me. And in with that, he also quoted the price that he was paying to the previous consultant. And then I was like, okay, see, we had discussed about all these scope. We have discussed about all the problems that you were facing, and this all things that are happening with you, and the reason that you shifted to me. So now I give you an assurance that all these things would be, resolved, and approximately I would be charging three times more than what you would be paying to what you were paying to the previous consultant. But again, here I give you an assurance that please, I would not take any advance. I would not uh, take any payment unless you are satisfied and unless you feel that the amount that you are paying me is actually worth. So first you see my work for maybe a month or two, and then you make me the payments. This is what this, and believe me, this is not some hypothetical example. It actually happened with me just last month. Okay. Then I started working on it with along with my team, and we brainstormed on all the things, and we created a very nice, beautiful report for him, and with all proper nice formatting and presentation, PPT as well, and everything we did very nicely. We have put all our jahan in that work. All my team works also, they were working very efficiently with it, and we created a very nice report for him. We offered them. And you know what was the answer that I got from him, or what was the reaction that I got from the client? He just looked at the entire report for half an hour, and he analyzed everything, he read everything, he saw the PPT as well. My team member gave a nice presentation in his boardroom, and what he did was, he just the CEO of the company, what he did was, he just told me, okay, this is wonderful. And I was nervous. What wonderful? Just a single wonderful, a word wonderful, for such a work that I have been doing since maybe like 15, 20 days. My entire team was into it. And he is just telling me, okay, this is wonderful. And I was wondering, I was getting nervous. But I kept there. Sat there patiently, and he called up his accountant, and he just called him up, and he said, "Bring along the checkbook with you." to his accountant, he said. And his accountant entered, and he just, the fees that I had quoted him, but I had told him that you pay me this only if you're satisfied, otherwise you don't do that. And he wrote that fees on that check, and he handed over that check to me, and he told me, this is actually the real satisfaction that I wanted, the real report that I wanted, and you gave me this. And believe me, I am so contented that the fees that you had quoted me, I am giving you right away. So this is what I want to, imply here, that reciprocity. Before asking for the fees, give your best, offer value or the insight first, and obviously you get the returns back from the client. Once he is contented, obviously he'll pay you the best thing that you are asking for. Yeah, so reciprocity is very, very important. Then the next one is scarcity. As in our example, I had already told you that make your client understand, make the other party understand that you are unique. You have the monopoly. There is nobody like you. There is nobody having the expertise that you are having. And you have to highlight that in front of them. You have to make them understand. And in fact, you have to make them understand this with the what do you say, with the services that you are providing them. Your work should speak, in your work should be made such a way that itself it speaks that yes, you are an expert into this area, and nobody else can offer the services, the expertise, the advice that you are giving. And that is why you are unique and you are scarce, and that is why you have this high aura. So once your client understands this, that there is nobody who can guide you in a way that you are guiding, he will definitely not leave you. He will be there with you for forever, and he will pay you whatever you ask for. And of course, I know that you are not going to take an advantage of this, and you are going to charge him exorbitant. But yes, you must, create your value in front of them. Then the next one is authority. Have an authority. Use your professional credibility as a chartered accountant. Make them understand that you are a chartered accountant. You are not a simple graduate, or you are not a simple tax consultant. You are a chartered accountant who has a 360-degree knowledge, who has a knowledge about all the prevailing laws. And in fact, you have this kind of a knowledge that you can, connect all these laws together, and you can understand, you can come to a decision which is connect, which has a 360-degree view. So you have to have this authority. You have to create this professional credibility in the minds of the client. You have to make them understand that you are an authority. You have that weight in the word itself, chartered accountant. You have that knowledge in you, that you can, connect everything. You can foresee the impact of various laws that may happen on a single minute situation as well. And this is the way you have an upper hand over the other professionals, maybe, or over the other people. And that is why you are what you are a monopoly, and that is why you are a scarce, because you are a species that is unique, and that is why you are an authority. Then coming to next is consistency. Consistency means you should keep your commitments. You should build a reliability. As I told you in my example, that if I am asking for an extension, I should be committed to that extension only. पहले ही you analyze properly and see to it that how much time you need. Maybe if you think that you need 15 days, ask for 17 days. Keep a margin. And but if you have asked for 15 days, stick to it. If need arises, employ additional resources to it, but keep to your commitments. They say na, as they say, a man is man only if he's a man of words. Yeah. So if you keep your words, if you keep your commitments, only then the client would have confidence in you. They should feel that you are reliable enough to complete the work within time, but with quality. You are not going to compromise on the quality. And this happens consistently. It does not happen only once, but it happens always. Like I told you, that, uh, you know, mm, we had a assignment which was there for us for 2 years only. And that assignment, it was a internal audit. And this assignment was allotted to us for 2 years. And in these 2 years, we had always been they had this issue that the reports do not come in time. And since the reports do not come in time, they had to comply, to the various regulators, and that was getting delayed because of that. And we had assured, no sir, if you had given us this time, you have given us this date, definitely you'll get the report on or before this date only. So only on this condition we were allotted the work for 2 years. And believe me, we did this for 2 years. Consistently, we had submitted the reports within the time. In fact, 10 days prior to the time, we had planned and managed the work in a way that the reports were submitted 10 days prior to the deadline. And now, repeatedly, we have been allotted this work again and again and again, and we are doing this work since almost 17 years. Now, after initially they had given this work only for 2 years, and now we are doing it for almost 17 years. So this is the confidence that you have to create by being reliable and by being committed to your work. And when the client has this confident, and he is confident that this work is going to happen consistently, it is going to happen, it is not going to, ऐसा नहीं है कि today you did the work within time, but tomorrow you are taking extension, and then day after tomorrow you are not even fulfilling your extensions. So if this is happening, obviously it would, not create a good impact and impression on the client. And that is why you have to be consistent in your uh, work. You have to be consistent towards your commitment. Then the next principle is liking. So be relatable. People say yes to those they like. Yeah. So you be relatable. You be likable. This year means be what you are. If you are a person of discipline, show that. But if you are not a person of discipline, don't show that you are a disciplined person, or you are a committed person, or you are a person of value. Don't do that. Don't do that. So be relatable, be what you are. And only when you show what you are, not only by your words but also by your behavior, then only people would like you. And when people will like you, obviously they will, give work to you, and they would like to get your services happening. So it is very important that people like you, people like the way you work, people like the way you behave, people believe that you are not a double standard person. People feel that you are a reliable person. People feel that you are a relatable person. You only commit those things that you are able to do. So then only you become a likable person, and then only people would, provide work to you. Then the next one is, I would just, run fast because we are getting short of time. So the next one is consensus. The next principle is consensus. Now here, uh, by consensus, I means that be social proof, such as other clients should also, value your services. You should be, you should be, you should be, by consensus, I mean to say that you and your client, the other party, and you should be on a same page. Not that you are saying something else and the person is understanding something else. There should be a clarity between both of you, and you both should be on a same page, and you both should be thinking in the same direction. So then only the client would value your services. Otherwise, if his expectations are something else and you are delivering something else, so obviously you both are not on same page, you both are not on consensus, and that is why he would not understand the worth that you are. The worth of work that you have provided, because his expectations are not fulfilled, his expectations have not been properly satisfied with. So that is why it is very important, and that is why it is very important to be, clear at the starting only. In fact, you can create, as I had already said, in fact, you can create a memorandum of understanding. You can, keep all the things in black and white, keep the scope and expectations in black and white, keep your what the quantum of team that you would be employing in black and white. Let the person know that, oh, this many number of my team members would be coming there, and also let him understand that you would be quoting so much of fees for the work, so much of work. This would be the deadline that you would be finishing your work into. So let everything be clear. Let his expectations and your understandings be on same page, and let this be on consensus. Let both of you be on consensus. So, in this digital interactions, your tone, your clarity, and timing actually becomes your body language. Now, when I am delivering a webinar, obviously you cannot, see me physically. You do not know me also. So that is why the way I speak, the my tone, my speech, the clarity that I have in my thoughts, the clarity that I have in my deliverables, and the timing is only my body language. Yeah. So similarly, when you are negotiating, in a on a digital platform, the tone that you are writing in your emails, the clarity that you have in your messages, and the timing that you put into is actually the body language. You have to give importance to all these three things. So over email or video calls, every word that you say, it matters. So keep your messages very clear and concise and professional as well. Not that, you keep on writing a story and the essence of the message is lost. So don't do that. Let it be very clear, let it to be to the point, and let it be concise and also very professional. Avoid negotiation traps like, emotional reactions, or rushing down to close the deal, or over discounting just to please the client, only to feel that yes, you should be in the good books of the client. Don't over discount. Think about your word, because when you over discount, it brings frustration to you, and obviously it hampers your quality of work. So don't do that. When don't fall to all these traps. Have a confident pause, a polite silence, or a well timed question. This All these three things can bring more powerful uh, conclusions than the lengthy arguments. So you don't have to argue much. You can bring a very balanced decision with small pause, a very confident pause, a very polite silence, and a well timed question is an essence to the balanced and impactful conclusion. So remember, negotiation is not a battle of words, it's a battle of minds. You understand the mind of other party, and they understand what you want to offer to them. Yeah. So now going next, the AI digital tools and ethical boundaries that you must have while you are negotiating in the digital era. As we move deeper into this digital era, AI and analytics, it is very important you understand all these tools, and you also have proper boundaries set for them. It is really important that you do not entirely depend on these tools and just copy paste. Take help of these tools. Take help of all Power BI or Excel models or Chat GPT or bot techniques. Take help, create nice analytical and reasonable data analysis, create nice dashboards, but then put your analytical and strategical thinking also into it. Just don't copy paste and show it in front of the client, because now the client is also very very intelligent. They also have all these tools in their hand, and they can also create all these kinds of dashboards for them or visuals for them. What you have to, when you put your analytical and strategical skills into these dashboards, obviously that is the unique thing that every human brain has. The way you think, there is nobody in the world that the other person may be thinking. Yeah. So that is why you make this dashboard unique with your analytical and strategical thinkings. And when it becomes unique, you get a confidence that yes, what I have done is correct, and then you are in a better way to influence for these negotiating skills. So yes, I strongly suggest that use digital tools, use AI, use all these techniques, but don't depend them. Use them and create a better option of yours. Maybe it may suggest better things that you must have not thought. I'm sorry, you must have not thought of. So you can, what you can do, what it can happen is, you can use those points which you had not thought of, but now you get a click of it, you think of it, you create a newer version of that point, and then you use that for creating a better option for your client. And this way you can also have your Batna, as I said, you can have alternatives, the best possible alternatives that we had already discussed and spoken about. With all these AI tools, what you can do is you can create three options maybe for the client to choose from before offering your negotiations. And when you have different alternatives, obviously clients know that you are aware of what you are talking about and what you are thinking of. And this way they think of you with higher credibility and higher confidence. And since they have three options in front of them, obviously they are also in a better way, better position to choose. And that is why they can, they are also in a better way to negotiate, and you are also in a better way to better position to offer negotiations. So today, AI can analyze patterns, it can predict behaviors, and even draft negotiation scripts. So you can use them. There are tools that help you assess sentiment from emails. Yes, 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 yes. Don't be astonished. There are such AI tools also which helps you assess sentiments even from the written work, even from things that have come to you virtually, how what that person is thinking or what that person is going through. You can assess them also. You can also predict sensitivity out of the words, and then accordingly you can create your answers to it. So there are tools that can help you assess these sentiments and predict price sensitivity for them. While these tools can make us, smart negotiators, we must always, as I had already, imbibed on it, we must always remember that AI can predict patterns, but it cannot predict emotions. So you have to, once the AI offers you with the emotional analysis or sentimental analysis, now you have to put your emotional thinking into it, put your analytical thinking into it, and understand the emotions, and then come up with a balanced and a win-win situation and a win-win solution. So, as chartered accountants, we operate under a strict code of ethics. While using these digital tools, we must ensure confidentiality, we must ensure transparency, and we must also ensure fairness. So, when you are using all these data analysis from AI tools or from digital tools or maybe from online platforms, remember that you have to be ethical as well. We are binded by code of ethics, and in fact AI committee has also brought a very good publication on this code of ethics in the AI era. So, we should always have these in minds. We should have confidentiality and we should have fairness also. We should never manipulate or misrepresent data, and must always, this is the beauty of a profession, that we should always uphold integrity in our communications. The digital world actually offers efficiency, but it also demands discretion. So let us use technology as an enabler and not a replacement, because you cannot be replaced. You are a unique, monopoly human being, and you can never be replaced by any machine oriented things. Keep this in mind, and then only you can, you are a creator, you are a unique person who can create very beautiful options. And therefore use technology, use it as an enabler, but do not let it be a replacement. You have your own judgments, you have your own analysis, and create a good, very nice options. So here I finish my words with this thing, that next generation negotiation is not about louder voices, it's about smarter data, influence, and trust. Negotiation today is not only about volumes, but about preparations, analytics, and influence. As chartered accountants, we already have the analytical power. Now we must just sharpen it, have digital strategies, and influence to stay ahead of the line. And with that, let's open the floor for any questions if there are.
Yes, ma'am, we have a few questions.
Yeah.
First one is, in face-to-face negotiation, we can create and develop long-term relationship. How to develop long-term relationship in digital negotiation?
As we had already discussed during all this entire session, that during digital sessions also you have to be, you have to stick to your credibility. You have to create confidence in your client that you are committed to the work, and you have to provide quality services. And then this is the only key to, have a long-term relationship. Any further things?
Yes, ma'am. Next question is, I believe while negotiation in our field, sometimes being firm on the pricing we quote also helps. This shows we are confident on the quality we are going to deliver. I didn't understand this
Okay.
question quite, but it is what it is.
What I can interpret from this question is the person wants to ask that how to be firm with the pricing, so that the person, the other party understands this, that we are not compromising on our quality. I
Yeah.
hope I am interpreting
Yes,
it
yes.
correct.
I guess
So
right.
yes, definitely, as I had already quoted my own example also, that you have to be firm with your pricing, and this is possible only when you have your backup analysis, that you cannot be flexible for this amount, um, or to what extent you can be flexible. Only then, if when you already have this analysis done, only then you can be firm to your price. And of course, here again, I would say that let the other party also realize and understand that you are what quality of service you are providing. And then when the person realizes, obviously they agree to your terms as well. And definitely being firm to your pricing is very important, because you know your worth, plus you also know the expenditure, not only in monetary terms but in other terms also, that you are expending to get this work done properly with proper quality of service.
Yeah. There's one last question. Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon. One query is from taxation point of view.
Mhm.
Sometimes a client agrees with terms, but later on they move to tax consultant who are rendering services at abnormally low price. How can we handle this kind of situation?
Yeah, okay. So, good afternoon to you as well. Here, I would give you two tips. One thing, that if the client is new, or maybe if you know with past trends that this person hops around the market, so just take your advance fees. And second thing, that we had already discussed again and again in the session, that be clear with all your terms as well as the expectations of the person in black and white. If you feel, if you have a doubt on such a client, go for a contractual agreement of agreement that is, put up on stamp paper, or maybe in, notarized or something. Like if the amount matters high, so you can, you can cater to these things also.
Okay. I guess, ma'am, we don't have any more questions.
Okay, so to just summarize our session, I would like to say that negotiation today requires a strategic mindset, analytical preparation, and influence with integrity. Use your data as your strength and not as your weakness. Empathize as your bridge and technology as your support. The future actually belongs to the professionals who can blend logic, empathy, and technology. I'm really thankful to Professional Skills and Enrichment Committee for giving me this opportunity, as well as I'm thankful to all the officials involved from the National Committee for conducting this wonderful webinar. Thanks to you also, Millie, for create having this wonderful moderation done.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Shall we conclude the session?
I guess I'm okay with that.
Okay, ma'am. Thanks a lot. It has been such an honor to be a part of this wonderful webcast on next gen negotiation, sharpening strategic, analytical, and influence skills in a digital world, organized by the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee ICI. On behalf of the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee ICI, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our speaker for today's, Ye Payal Jain, for her enlightening session. And a wide round of applause and thanks to the organizers, Professional Skills Enrichment Committee ICI, our today's speaker CA Payal Jain, and other stakeholders who made this webcast a memorable one. Finally, we would like to thank all of you present here and helping us make this webcast a grand success. Thank you, one and all. Yes.